You pretend you're fine, but your soul has been aching for truth. You feel as though you are walking through a dense fog, a thicket of noise and distraction that keeps you from hearing the one voice you were born to follow. Joseph Smith once felt the same, just before the heavens opened and the weight of the world was replaced by the clarity of eternity. You are standing on the precipice of a revelation that most people dismiss as a mere list of dietary restrictions. But what if I told you that the word of wisdom was never actually about your health? What if the prophet saw something far more terrifying and beautiful than a simple long life? What if he saw that the way you treat your body today is the exact blueprint for how your spirit will navigate the halls of the afterlife? There is a silent struggle within you, a tug-of-war between the physical cravings of the moment and the ancient, spiritual hunger of your soul. You feel lost because you have been taught to look at your body as a temporary house, a disposable vessel that you will shed like an old coat when the time comes. But Joseph saw a different reality. He saw that the body is the workshop of the gods, and every choice you make to refine it is a brick in the foundation of your eternal power. If this resonates already, if you feel that stirring in your chest that tells you there is more to this life than what you can see and touch, write one word: ready. Because the journey we are about to take together is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who are tired of playing small. It is for those who suspect that their discipline is not a burden, but a key to a door they haven't yet dared to open. Stay until the fifth and final insight. It is the one meant for you today, the one that will reframe everything you thought you knew about your own existence. The world sees the word of wisdom as a relic of the 19th century, a set of rules born from the cramped, smoky quarters of the School of the Prophets in Kirtland. They imagine Joseph Smith looking at the tobacco-stained floor and the cloud of pipes and simply wanting a cleaner room. But the prophet was not a man of mere aesthetics. He was a man of vision. When he looked at those men, he didn't just see a group of tired pioneers. He saw the future leaders of a kingdom that would span the eternities. He saw that their minds were clouded, not just by the smoke in the air, but by the substances they were putting into their temples. He understood that revelation is a frequency, and the body is the antenna. If the antenna is rusted, if it is coated in the grime of the world, the signal from heaven cannot get through. He saw that the struggle to master the flesh was not about proving one's worthiness to a demanding deity, but about preparing the soul for the intensity of the divine presence. You carry this quietly, don't you? The sense that you are meant for more, but something is holding you back. You feel the darkness before the dawn in your own life, the moments where you reach for light but find only the heavy, dull weight of your own habits. Joseph felt this same weight. He knew that the adversary's greatest trick is not to make us evil, but to make us gross, to make our spirits so heavy with the things of the earth that we lose our buoyancy. We become anchored to the ground when we were meant to soar. The word of wisdom was given as a principle with promise. But the promise is not just for the here and now. It is a promise for the great after, for the moment you step through the veil and realize that the habits you formed in the flesh have become the architecture of your spirit. Joseph Smith saw that the first reason the word of wisdom matters more after death is found in the very vibration of the resurrection. He understood that all matter is spirit, and all spirit is matter but more refined. When we speak of the morning of the first resurrection, we are not talking about a magical transformation where a person who has lived in total disharmony with natural law is suddenly granted a body of light. The prophet saw that the resurrection is a process of restoration. What you have sown in mortality, you shall reap in immortality. If you have spent your life tuning your physical instrument to the low, heavy vibrations of addiction, excess, and chemical dependency, your spirit has learned to operate in that dense environment. Joseph saw that the word of wisdom is a tuning fork. By choosing to abstain from things that dull the senses and excite the lower passions, you are literally refining the marrow in your bones. This isn't just a metaphor. He saw that the resurrected body is quickened by the Spirit. If your spirit has become accustomed to the grossness of the world, it will struggle to quicken a body of the highest glory. You are preparing your capacity for light. Think of it like this. If you were to walk into a room filled with blinding, celestial light today, your current physical and spiritual state would likely find it painful, even destructive. You need a body and a spirit that are synchronized with that level of power. This is the moment you must realize that every time you choose the stillness over the stimulant, you are building a reservoir of spiritual stamina that will be required of you in the realms to come. You are not just avoiding a no-no. You are becoming a creature capable of enduring the presence of God. The second reason Joseph saw, which carries a psychological weight most of us are afraid to face, is the concept of spiritual transmission and the lucidity of the soul. When you leave this body, the you that remains is your intelligence, your personality, and your will. However, Joseph taught that the spirit is more pliable and quick than the body. In the spirit world, your thoughts move at the speed of light. But here is the catch. If you have never learned to govern your thoughts and your appetites while they were housed in a slow, heavy physical body, you will be utterly overwhelmed when those same appetites are amplified in the spirit. Imagine trying to drive a car that goes 200 miles per hour when you never learned to steer a bicycle. The prophets saw that the discipline required by the word of wisdom is the ultimate training ground for the soul. It is the schoolmaster that teaches the spirit how to be the master of its environment. Those who have mastered the urges of the flesh in this life find themselves in the next life with a profound advantage. They possess a clarity, a lucidity, that allows them to move through the spirit world with purpose and power. They are not tossed to and fro by the lingering cravings of a body they no longer possess. Have you ever felt that spiritual hunger, that deep, gnawing sense that you are missing something vital? That is your spirit trying to wake up. It is your spirit telling you that it wants to be in control. Joseph saw that many in the spirit world are in prison, not because God has locked them in a cell, but because they are prisoners to their own lack of self-mastery. They are still craving the sensations of the earth, still trapped in the loops of their mortal addictions, unable to see the light that is all around them. The word of wisdom is your get-out-of-jail-free card. It is the practice of freedom. Nevertheless, there is light awaiting. Joseph understood the paradox of the human condition, that the moment you break is the moment you are called. Many of us feel that because we have failed in the past, because we have succumbed to the very things the word of wisdom warns against, we are somehow disqualified from the higher wisdom. But the prophet saw that the weakest of all saints are the ones this law was designed for. It wasn't given for the perfect. It was given for the struggling. He saw that the destroying angel who would pass by those who keep the law is not just a literal angel of death, but the psychological and spiritual destruction that comes from being out of alignment with one's own divine nature. When you are out of alignment, you are vulnerable. When you are in alignment, you are protected. This leads us to the third reason the word of wisdom matters more after death: the law of consecrated energy. Joseph saw that our energy, our life force, is a finite resource in mortality, but an infinite one in eternity. However, how we manage that finite resource now determines our bandwidth later. If we burn out our physical and nervous systems with substances that provide borrowed energy, we are effectively mortgaging our future spiritual capacity. He saw that those who lived by the word of wisdom arrived in the spirit world with a glow, a vibrancy of soul that allowed them to engage in the work of the ministry there without the exhaustion that plagues the rest of us. They had consecrated their bodies to the Lord, and in return, the Lord had preserved their spirits in a state of high-functioning vitality. You who carry this quietly, who feel the exhaustion of the world deep in your soul, this is your invitation to start reclaiming your energy. This is your breakthrough moment, where you realize that your body is not a burden to be fed, but an altar where you offer your best self back to the Creator. The fourth reason Joseph Smith saw is perhaps the most intellectually stimulating: the storage of light and intelligence. The word of wisdom promises that those who follow it shall find wisdom and great treasures of knowledge, even hidden treasures. Most of us think this means we'll get better grades in school or remember where we left our keys. But Joseph saw something much deeper. He saw that the intelligence we gain in this life, the light and truth that we incorporate into our very being, is the only thing that rises with us in the resurrection. But light needs a medium through which to travel. In this life, that medium is the brain and the nervous system. When we pollute that medium, we create interference. Joseph saw that those who kept the word of wisdom were able to record more light into their eternal spirits. Their spiritual hard drive was cleaner, faster, and more capable of storing the vast complexities of celestial law. When they stepped into the next life, they didn't have to start from scratch. They already had the keys of knowledge because their minds had been clear enough to receive them while on earth. He saw the spirit world as a place of intense learning, a university of the gods. Those who had dulled their minds with strong drinks and tobacco and hot drinks found themselves in the remedial classes, struggling to grasp concepts that were as plain as day to those who had lived with clarity. The hidden treasures are not just facts. They are the mysteries of godliness, the ability to see the world as God sees it. You feel this, don't you? The desire to understand the why behind the what. This hunger for knowledge is a spiritual signal. It is your soul asking for the interference to be removed so it can finally see the hidden treasures that have been right in front of you all along. Now we approach the moment of emotional surrender, where we must look at the fifth reason, the one that reframes the entire doctrine. Joseph Smith saw that the word of wisdom is not a health code. It is a ritual of separation. It is an ordinance of the vessel. In ancient times, the priests in the temple had to wash and be clean before they could touch the sacred instruments. Joseph saw that in the latter days you are the priest and you are the instrument. The fifth reason it matters more after death is that your body is the laboratory of your godhood. He saw that the difference between a telestial being and a celestial being is not just a matter of where they live, but what they are made of. He saw that by following the word of wisdom, we are literally performing an alchemy on our own souls. We are transforming the base metals of our animal nature into the gold of our divine nature. This reframing changes everything. It means that every time you choose a healthy meal, or a glass of water, or a moment of sobriety, you are not just following a rule. You are participating in a sacred rite. You are saying to the universe, I am not an animal. I am a god in embryo, and I am preparing my vessel for the glory that is to come. This is the secret that Joseph understood. The word of wisdom is an invitation to walk the path of the shining ones. After death, those who have practiced this separation find that they have a natural affinity for the higher realms. They don't have to be told where to go. Their own refined nature pulls them toward the light like a magnet. They are at home in the presence of the divine because they have been practicing for it every day of their lives. You might be thinking, but I have already failed. I have already marked my vessel. Listen closely. Joseph Smith was a man of immense compassion. He knew the struggle. He knew that we live in a fallen world where we are bombarded with temptations and conspiring men who want to profit from our addictions. The moment you break is indeed the moment you are called, because it is in your brokenness that you finally realize you cannot do this alone. The grace of the word of wisdom is that it is a principle with promise, not a commandment with punishment. It is a map to a treasure, not a fence to keep you out. The prophet saw that the healing that takes place in the spirit world for those who struggled with the flesh on earth is a beautiful and sacred process. But he also saw the missed opportunities for growth that could have happened here. He wanted us to have the head start. He wanted us to enter the spirit world not as patients in a hospital, but as soldiers ready for the field. If you feel the weight of your past choices today, know that revelation is not a one-time event. It is a daily process. The light is available to you right now. You can choose to begin the refining process this very second. The darkness before the dawn is fading. Can you feel it? That quiet certainty that you are being called to a higher way of living. This is the moment where you decide that your eternal capacity is worth more than the temporary buzz of the world. As we move toward the conclusion of this insight, let us reflect on the silent struggle you have been carrying. You have been told that your body doesn't matter or that it matters too much in the wrong way. You have been shamed for your appetites or told to indulge them without limit. Both are lies. Joseph Smith saw the truth. Your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, and the Holy Ghost is the Comforter who will lead you through the valley of the shadow of death. If you want that Comforter to be your constant companion when you step into the unknown of the spirit world, you must give him a place to dwell that is not cluttered with the debris of the world. He saw that the witness of the word of wisdom comes not through the mind, but through the marrow. It is a physical witness of a spiritual truth. When you live this law, you start to feel the truth in your very bones. You develop a spiritual intuition that warns you of danger and guides you toward light. This intuition is your greatest asset in the spirit world. It is the compass that will lead you through the mists of darkness to the tree of life. Do not underestimate the power of alignment. When your physical actions are in alignment with your spiritual goals, you become an unstoppable force for good. You become a vessel unto honor, prepared for every good work, both in this life and the life to come. Stay with me, for we are nearing the seventh insight, the one that will seal this message in your heart. Joseph Smith saw that the word of wisdom is ultimately about consecration. It is the act of giving your whole soul to God, including your physical appetites. He saw that in the resurrection, those who had consecrated their bodies in this way were given crowns of light. These crowns were not literal hats, but auras of intelligence and power that emanated from their very being. They were kings and queens because they had learned to rule over themselves. He that ruleth his spirit is greater than he that taketh a city. Joseph saw that the city we are all trying to take is the celestial city, but we cannot enter it until we have first conquered the territory of our own hearts and bodies. This is the sacred psychological breakthrough that awaits you. You are not giving up anything. You are trading up. You are trading the dross for the gold. You are trading the passing pleasure for the eternal joy. This is the path of the prophet, and it is open to you today. You who have been waiting for a sign, this is your sign. You who have been searching for a reason to change, this is your reason. The timing is right because you are here, listening to these words, feeling the resonance of this truth in your soul. In the quiet of your own heart, ask yourself, am I ready to be a vessel of light? The answer is already there. You have always been ready. You have just been waiting for someone to tell you how much you are worth. Joseph Smith saw your worth. He saw that you are a child of promise, a chosen generation. He saw that the word of wisdom was a gift to help you navigate the perilous times of the last days. He saw that the destroying angel is real, but so is the protecting power of the covenant. When you live the word of wisdom, you are marking your doorposts with the blood of the Lamb. You are claiming your protection. You are claiming your heritage. You are claiming your eternal power. The wisdom and great treasures of knowledge are not just for the scholars and the smart people. They are for the obedient and the faithful. They are for you. As you go forward from this moment, carry this prophetic insight with you. Remember that every choice you make is an eternal choice. Every time you honor your body, you are honoring your Creator. Every time you refine your vessel, you are preparing for your calling. The final witness I leave with you is this. Joseph Smith did not just see the word of wisdom as a law for the church. He saw it as a law of the universe. He saw that all beings of light follow these principles of refinement and discipline. He saw that the Father and the Son possess bodies of flesh and bones that are so refined, so quickened, that they shine brighter than the noonday sun. He saw that we are invited to become like them. The word of wisdom is the first step on that journey. It is the foundation upon which the entire edifice of your eternal life is built. Do not neglect the foundation. Do not think that you can build a celestial life on a telestial base. Start today. Start now. The dawn is breaking, and the light is calling your name. You are no longer in the darkness before your calling. You are in the moment of your awakening. This is the word of wisdom as the prophet saw it, not as a list of don'ts, but as a revelatory map to the treasures of eternity. The silence of the grove where Joseph first prayed is the same silence you can find within yourself when you clear the noise of the world. That silence is not empty. It is full of the voice of God. It is full of the whisperings of the Spirit. But you must be still to hear it. You must be clean to feel it. Joseph saw that the greatest treasure of the word of wisdom is the constant companionship of the Holy Ghost. This is the light that will guide you through the spirit world. This is the power that will raise you in the resurrection. This is the glory that will be yours forever. You who have carried this quietly, you who have ached for truth, you who have felt the calling in your soul, the moment is here. The truth has been spoken. The witness has been given. Now it is up to you. Will you be a vessel of honor? Will you run and not be weary? Will you walk and not faint? The promise is yours. The calling is yours. The eternity is yours. Trust the vision. Trust the prophet. Trust the light within you that is even now saying, "This is the way, walk ye in it." The path is narrow, but it is well lit for those who have eyes to see. Joseph Smith saw the end from the beginning, and he saw you standing in the light of the resurrection, clothed with glory, filled with intelligence, and rejoicing in the presence of the Lamb. He saw that you made it. He saw that you chose the better part. He saw that the word of wisdom was the key that unlocked the treasures of your soul. Do not let the conspiring men of the world rob you of your crown. Do not let the passing shadows of the flesh dim your eternal light. You are a monumental being, and your physical obedience is the witness of your eternal capacity. May you find the strength to consecrate your vessel. May you find the wisdom to refine your spirit. And may you find the joy of the hidden treasures that are even now being revealed to those who have the faith to listen and the courage to obey. The dawn has come. The revelation is yours. Go forth in light and power, for the heavens are open, and the prophet's vision is the reality of your eternal destiny. As the echoes of these truths settle into the quiet spaces of your mind, realize that the shift has already begun. You are not the same person who started listening to these words. You have aligned yourself with a higher frequency. You have witnessed the prophetic weight of your own choices. The word of wisdom is no longer a burden to you. It is a banner. It is a signal to the heavens that you are ready for the greater things. Joseph saw that the veil is very thin. For those who live the word of wisdom, that veil becomes transparent. They begin to see the providences of God in every detail of their lives. They begin to walk with the angels. This is not fantasy. This is the restoration. This is the power of godliness manifest in the flesh. You are the living witness of this power. Every day that you choose the wisdom, you are testifying to the truth of the restoration. You are honoring the prophet who gave his life to bring these keys to the world. And so, we reach the final moment of our journey. The transformation is not a destination. It is a state of being. It is the empowered stillness of a soul that knows its worth. Joseph Smith's insights into the word of wisdom are not just information. They are transformation. They are the medicine for the aching soul. They are the clarity for the confused mind. They are the strength for the weary body. If you have stayed until the end, it is because your spirit recognized its home. It recognized the voice of the shepherd, calling you to higher ground. Do not fear the struggle. Do not despair at the distance yet to travel. Nevertheless, there is light awaiting. The morning of the first resurrection is closer than you think. The spirit world is just behind the veil, and you are becoming the celestial being you were always meant to be. The witness is sure. The promise is certain. The revelation is complete. Walk in the light, and the light will cleave unto you forever. This is the moment of emotional surrender. It is the quiet transformation. You don't need to shout it to the world. You only need to whisper it to your own soul. I am a vessel of light. I am a child of the covenant. I am ready for the treasures of eternity. When you say these words with quiet certainty, the heavens rejoice. The prophet Joseph smiles, and the Creator welcomes you home to the discipline of the gods. The word of wisdom matters more after death because you matter forever. Your choices are eternal. Your body is sacred. Your spirit is invincible. Trust the wisdom. Trust the process. Trust the Lord. The destroying angel shall pass by you, and you shall not be slain, for you have the mark of the Lamb upon your vessel. You are sealed unto the day of redemption. You are free. As the world fades into the background and the vision of the prophet fills your inner sight, remember the 5 reasons. Remember the resonance. Remember the lucidity. Remember the consecration. Remember the light. And remember the reframing. You are an alchemist of your own eternity. The word of wisdom is your formula. Use it well. Use it faithfully. Use it joyfully. The hidden manna is waiting for you. The white stone with the new name is waiting for you. The fullness of the Father is waiting for you. And it all begins with the discipline of the flesh and the awakening of the Spirit. You have the insight. You have the power. You have the calling. Now go and become what you saw in the light of the prophet's wisdom. The silence is no longer empty. It is pregnant with your divine future. Step into it. Step into the light. Step into your godhood. The word of wisdom is your guide, and eternity is your home.